Warm welcome to all of you. I am Kavya R. Chavali, and it's absolutely my honor to welcome each one of you to this very, very special occasion, to the launch of L&T SuFin, a B2B marketplace developed by Larsen and Toubro that facilitates buying and selling of industrial and construction products integrated with finance and logistics options. Now, I must admit I was particularly intrigued with the term SuFin, and I came to understand that it was coined by our very own Mr. S.N. Subramanian, sir. So I do believe you're all aware that SuFin is derived from the concept of supply chain and finance. That is, the platform, as the name suggests, shall make supply chain more effective through digital medium of e-commerce and also arrange financing for the participants for facilitating trade. Ladies and gentlemen, to give a head start to the program, I now request all our guests present here to kindly rise up to honor the L&T anthem.
जिसकी मिट्टी से पैदा हुए हम, कर्ज हम उस ज़मीं का चुकाएं।
जिसकी मिट्टी से पैदा हुए हम, कर्ज हम उस ज़मीं का चुकाएं।
हाथ में हाथ देकर बढ़े हम, जब तलक मंजिलें मिल न जाएं।
एक नई भोर की रोशनी से हर अंधेरे को हम जगमगाएं।
जो भी हमको मिला इस जहां से, हर तरह से उसे हम चुकाएं। ऊंचा रखेंगे सर तेरा हम, L&T, मिलके खाते हैं हम ये कसम।
We kindly request all of you to please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all gathered here today for the launch of the L&T SuFin. And at the outset, we'd also like to thank all our special guests as well as dignitaries who have taken time from their busy schedules and even traveled a considerable distance to be a part of this milestone event. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to Mr. A.M. Nayak, Group Chairman, L&T, and our CEO and Managing Director, Mr. S.N. Subramanian, the Executive Committee members and the SuFin Advisory Board members, along with all the other guests who have joined us here in person. We also have some of our guests who are joining us online, and the entire event is actually being live streamed on YouTube. So over the next few hours, we will journey with the stakeholders who have played an integral role in bringing L&T SuFin up to this stage in a timely, professional, and a safe manner. On that beautiful note, we begin with the auspicious lighting of the lamp, for which may I please request our dignitaries to kindly step forward, as we believe that this beginning is symbolic to discarding the darkness of the unknown and welcoming the light of knowledge. If I may please invite Mr. A.M. Nayak, Group Chairman of Larsen and Toubro, along with all the Executive Committee members to please kindly step forward for the lighting of the lamp. We also request you all to come together for a group photograph. Well, it seems like not just the lighting of the lamp, but also lighting up of the smiles as well. I request all our dignitaries to please take your seats. And while we do that, I also now welcome on the stage the beautiful ladies from the SuFin team, Ms. Rajashri, Ms. Ashita, and Ms. Astha, to please present the Ganesh Vandana.
गणनायकाय गणदेवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणाधीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदेवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरुवे गुणगुरुवे गुरुदैत्यकलक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्मसदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्रपरित्रात्रे गुरुपाखण्डखण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमत्ताय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
The grace, the voice, and the force at the L&T SuFin team, ladies and gentlemen. And on that beautiful note, as we march ahead, may I please invite Mr. Anup Sahai, Head Corporate Strategy and Special Initiatives, to please come on stage to share a few words. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, and please help me welcome on stage Mr. Anup Sahai.
Good morning, Mr. Nayak, Group Chairman of Larsen and Toubro, Mr. S.N. Subramaniam, CEO and Managing Director of L&T, directors on the L&T board, ECOM members, and all my colleagues. Good morning and welcome to the advisors of L&T SuFin, Mr. Viresh Oberoi, Mr. Luis Miranda. Thank you very much for taking out the time to be here with us on this inaugural event for the launch of L&T SuFin. Also a big welcome and good morning to the large number of customers and also our business partners who are joining us for this event today. Some of them are present here in person, and I understand over 800 of them have logged in virtually right now. It's great to have you all with us on this L&T SuFin launch event. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is the dawn of a new era. A conglomerate that straddles infrastructure, high-tech manufacturing, and IT with aplomb is now going to enter the world of e-commerce, which is focused on industrial and construction products. Today, we are launching L&T SuFin. It is an integrated e-commerce platform focused primarily on SMEs who are engaged in the manufacture and deal with construction and industrial products. This launch marks months of trial and testing with hundreds of buyers and sellers. It involved understanding their feedback, engaging with their suggestions, and trying to see how we can further improve the platform and our offering so that we can create value for the customers and delight them through the experience that they have on the SuFin platform. Today, SuFin opens its portals to all of India, to all manufacturers of industrial and construction goods, to all buyers and sellers. L&T SuFin stands apart in this space in many distinct ways. I will highlight two of them. Firstly, on L&T SuFin, we bring together the widest range of industrial and construction products that any portal does, aimed for B2B commerce. Secondly, SuFin brings with it the experience of L&T, the rich experience of dealing with thousands of vendors over many years, the experience that comes from the deep understanding of construction and industrial products. This is an important part of what L&T is about, and it helps immensely in creating the trust that is required between buyers and sellers who do not know each other, but who can engage with each other on a platform that is run by Larsen and Toubro. Globally, there is only one company that has developed and successfully run at scale an integrated B2B e-commerce platform for industrial and other products, and that company is Alibaba.com. But in industrial products in India, there is no such company as of yet, which is running at scale for these kinds of products. And SuFin aims to occupy this space and thereby promises to write another chapter in the illustrious history of this great company, Larsen and Toubro. This will not happen by itself. A lot of hard work has already gone. A lot more needs to happen and to be taken to the next level. The L&T name is not only an attractor to the platform, it will certainly bring in lots of buyers and sellers to do business. But the name also creates expectations. Our customer service orientation will have to be better than any other player in this space. And customers should return to the SuFin platform again and again for the ease of transaction and for the overall experience and the value realized from dealing with the SuFin platform. I would like to assure all the SuFin customers, and some of them are here attending in person, and as I said, there are hundreds logged on to the event online, that the SuFin team is geared up to support you in your journey and experience with the SuFin portal. Please do reach out to the SuFin team should you need any help at any point of time. Their contact details are given in the SuFin portal. Promising is easy, delivering consistently requires hard work. The team is fully cognizant of the responsibility they carry in consistently creating and increasing value for their customers, and also the responsibility that is involved in protecting and enhancing the L&T brand. We also understand that it is equally important to be prepared to make changes or to change track as we go on, if so required, to try out new schemes, and to improvise and innovate to stay ahead of competition. Today we launch L&T SuFin and the race is truly on. Personally, I look forward to the challenging times, but also very exciting times ahead for L&T SuFin. And how all this will be done, how all this excitement will be created, will be explained by Bhadresh Pathak, the business head. Thank you, and all the best to the SuFin team and all of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sahai, for setting the tone. And as you beautifully shared, it's indeed the dawn of the new era, which is why I'd now like to request Mr. Bhadresh Pathak, Business Head L&T SuFin, to also introduce to us to this all-new exciting venture, L&T SuFin. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and please help me welcome on stage Mr. Bhadresh Pathak.
Good morning, respected Chairman A.M. Naik sir, respected CEO and MD SNS sir, Executive Committee members, members of the SuFin Advisory Board, L&T colleagues, esteemed customers who are there in the room and who have joined online, my L&T colleagues all across the country. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to introduce L&T SuFin to you. Yes, it is a brand of Larsen and Toubro that creates a great responsibility on all of us, and it's an e-commerce platform for buying and selling of industrial and construction products. So when we started ideating on the e-commerce business, we studied the B2B ecosystem, and we saw that in a typical supply chain, SMEs are very, very crucial and critical ingredients. And if we try to resolve the pain points of the MSMEs, it would be a highly successful and a scalable business. Not only from L&T's point of view, it will create an operational efficiency as far as the supply chain of the country is concerned. So with that motive in mind, we started ideating and developing this concept called L&T SuFin. So this is the entire B2B supply chain, where you will see lots of MSMEs are involved, both as buyers, as sellers, as service providers, both on the IT side, logistics side, even in the contract manufacturing services, ancillaries, and so on. So we decided to bridge the gap. There was a need gap that existed in the country. When it was MSME, definitely there are 3-4 major pain points that I would like to highlight. The first is the market access. If an MSME unit wants to grow beyond the known network, there is a resource crunch, number one. Number two, they are unknown in the territory that they want to charter, and there is a competition from established national brands. What do they do? Secondly, you are dealing with unknown entities, right? Either a seller or a buyer. If you don't deal with unknown entities, your turnover will not grow. But how do you deal with unknown entities? There is always a risk of dealing with unknown entities. So you need to create that trust. If we are able to create that trust among the counterparties in dealing with the business issues, then probably they get that convenience and comfort in dealing with a platform. That is another problem that we are trying to crack through L&T SuFin, and we have created a good digital infrastructure, and we will explain you how we have created that trust and verification process, which involves a great due diligence for counterparties that will create confidence in dealing with these entities. So yes, we are creating convenience, we are creating trust, we are creating confidence to come together and increase your business. So lots and lots of these pain points which are there, especially for MSMEs, get solved through L&T SuFin. Say for example, immediate payment, you have to part with immediate payment on cash terms. If you are a buyer, then you will definitely worry whether the goods that will reach you are of acceptable quality, whether there will be an issue in respect of the quantity. All this is assured when you deal with trusted seller of L&T SuFin, because a trusted seller is someone who has an established vintage. We know the credentials, we have checked the reputation, and we have checked the financials as well. It's a credit-worthy entity with whom you are dealing. So this is what we have created. Again, the payment on credit terms is ensured. Discovering logistics is a big pain point of an MSME. If an MSME wants to transport the goods from one end of the country to the other end of the country, it becomes very critical and very important, but at the same time very costly for a small player. If you get a choice of various logistics partners who would compete to provide a competitive price to you, then it makes a difference. That is the digital infrastructure which SuFin provides you. The last but not the least and the mother of all problems is the working capital. A resource crunch. In the country, unsecured credit is absolutely absent. Transaction-based unsecured credit is not possible unless you have a good vintage, unless there's a data to back you up. But here in SuFin, we have tied up with a host of banks, and some of them are in this room, and some of them are watching online. They are our financing partners who provide the working capital based on transactions. So there is a huge transparency as far as the dealings are concerned. There is an electronic trail. So both the financing institutions are happy, and the seller and the buyer, they get credit when they deal. And that is a very essential and a critical help that we are providing them. So when we call SuFin as an integrated solution, what does it mean? The product and price discovery, the transactions, the logistics, the financing, everything is there as a single window. In a single window, one-stop shop. All these services are there which are not there in any other platform. We are the pioneers in this concept. Let me tell you with a lot of confidence and responsibility that these 4 services are not there in any of the B2B platforms across the country right now. And we are the first ones to launch. So definitely you should avail the benefit of this. When we are starting with 40 plus product categories, and these are quite diverse. If you see the host of these categories, you will see that a lot of your MRO type of requirements, that is maintenance, repairs, and operate type of requirements, are catered to by this product categories. There are consumables as well. And I spoke a lot about creating trust amongst entities. So we do a lot of due diligence before we give a trust and a verified seal to these entities. Our checkpoints are, we do a physical verification in terms of business activity, vintage, references, product relevance, photographs also are taken. We do credit checks, the checking of business transactions, how the business transactions are there, the conduct of the business, plus the creditworthiness, whether the entity has defaulted with the financing institutions is also known to us. And we bring all these qualities on a platter in one seal, that is trusted and verified seal of L&T SuFin. And when an entity has that seal, it creates a huge confidence amongst the dealing entities, and therefore you can increase the business based on the L&T's trust. That is what our premise is. I'll just give you a glimpse of the platform functionality in terms of various screens of L&T SuFin.
L&T SuFin is now live with more than 1 lakh SKUs and over 15,000 users enjoying advantages such as request for quotation for better price realization, logistics options that cater to over 20,000 pin codes pan-India, finance options such as overdrafts, working capital, and other business loans from our vetted partners. And most importantly, trust and verification seals for buyers and sellers vetted by Larsen and Toubro. Get ready to win with L&T SuFin.
So again, reiterating our key value propositions for the platform. The request for quotation is a very unique feature on the platform which covers at one go about 200 products. You can ask for quotations for more than 200 products with a click of the mouse. And that kind of convenience is created. Imagine that if you have to do it in a physical form, what kind of a nightmare it is. Then the working capital solution, as I said, it is all digitized. It is very convenient to apply here and get a loan. Again, if there is a mid-corporate who is an OEM, in the range of 250 crores to a 1500 crore kind of a turnover, what happens is that they have to compete with national brands and they need to consolidate their supply chain. So what we provide is distributor financing to these entities for strengthening their supply chains. And we are a digital channel for these OEMs who are partnering with us. Once they tie up with us, we will introduce you to the market, we'll do the marketing. Our buyer relationship managers are there all across the country. They'll take your products, they'll create leads for you, and also help your supply chain with the financing. So we are not disrupting anybody's supply chain. We are in fact creating a lot of strength in your supply chains. So you can test us on that as well. We have the verification and trust seals that I explained earlier to give confidence for dealing with unknown entities. And for the convenience, logistics and the payment gateway services. For accounts reconciliation also, these payment gateway services are very important. They would remind you on the due date to make the payment. Plus, the payment is linked to the order number. And that creates a huge convenience when you start using it. So the journey so far, we were ready with a beta launch in January 2021. And here we are at the launch event, which is March 2022. In between what we have done, we have onboarded more than 15,000 customers, plus more than 1 lakh SKUs have been listed on the platform. And what we did was, and thank you for doing it, we got a lot of feedback from our customers. We kept on improving the platform. We kept on getting the feedback from both external customers as well as L&T ICs. And some of our stakeholders are there in this room today. Thanks a lot for that. L&T Valves, PT&D, BNF all helped us in improving the platform. Plus, innumerable SMEs across the country who have given their feedback to improve the platform. That is what we did during this period called CUG transaction enablement. There is closed user group testing. So thank you for your support. Get ready to win with L&T SuFin. You can reach out to us on the given coordinates. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Pathak, for sharing those valuable words, the key value propositions, along with identifying a critical need and then ideating a way forward, especially with the two key words, which is trust and confidence. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the day wherein we look forward to the official launch of L&T SuFin. And it is only befitting to do so in a very special way, for which I now request Mr. A.M. Naik, Group Chairman, Larsen & Toubro, to officially launch L&T SuFin platform with the unveiling of the logo.
In a world that's ever-changing, every living being has but one goal: to grow and flourish. And nature provides the means to make it possible. Where nature goes, man invariably follows. This is how trade has flourished for centuries in India. No more. Behold, I bring you a new way of trading in industrial goods. One that puts the entire country in your reach. Where distances between buyer and seller are a thing of the past, and trust the only currency that reigns. A world where buyers find just what they need. And there's money on hand to keep the business growing. Where goods reach your doorstep well in time. And everybody gets the best deal. Welcome to the world of L&T SuFin, a world where everybody wins.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an exhilarating way for the special launch on the special occasion. Can we have a huge round of applause one more time? Well, on that beautiful note, I know that all of us are energized, all of us are excited about all that's in store, which is why I now request Mr. A.M. Naik to please grace the stage, along with our CEO and Managing Director, Mr. S.N. Subramanian, along with Mr. Anup Sahai and Mr. Bhadresh Pathak and the entire executive committee team to please come on the stage for the launch of the L&T SuFin brand guidelines book. So, sir, if I may please request you to come on stage, sir. So we need to have it. I request the executive committee as well to please join our dignitaries on the dais for the launch of the L&T SuFin brand guidelines book. Let's have another huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And let's also capture this beautiful moment, a Kodak moment, if you may say. Well, this was the launch of the L&T SuFin brand guidelines book, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, while I do request all our dignitaries to take their seats as well, because up next I'll also be requesting Mr. A.M. Naik to please address us all. I'm doing good, sir. It's an honor to meet you again, sir.
There's a different mic on it, and there's a telephone just give him a heads up. From mic office. Very prompt. Can you read it? Can you read? Yeah, yeah.
Mr. S.N. Subramaniam, all my colleagues, I am non-executive but still on the board, so all of them, all ECO members, advisory committee, and all the people who are right now connected to this event, buyers and sellers, and the well-wishers of this event. So I'm very happy to inaugurate the L&T SuFin platform and open a new chapter in L&T's group, growing bouquet of digital initiatives. I'm sure that this is going to lead to newer and brighter future for many as we pave the way for Industry 4.0. Just 5 months ago, in October last year, we had launched L&T EduTech. And now with L&T SuFin, we are reaffirming our commitment to leverage digital platform and configure new business model that will contribute significantly to industry's value chain. The thrust and directions are L&T's full-fledged vision statement that we formulated after 99 when I took over. And if you read that, the mantle of CEO, soon after that we drew up a strategic roadmap and articulated an IT vision which we started in 2000 for the company. Much of the restructuring that the company had gone through and many of the business lines which have emerged since then are the outcome of our commitment to knowing the broad guidelines of our vision document. Going forward, such services and digital initiatives are going to play an increasingly important part in our growth. I expect both the platforms, L&T EduTech as well as L&T SuFin, which is being launched today, to provide L&T with a strong entry position in the e-commerce space. This will be the takeoff point for much larger scale engagement in subsequent years. As you are all aware, digital technologies are changing the idiom of human interactions. With L&T SuFin, we'll be focusing sharply on the supply chain, architecture of which is the livelihood of project execution, manufacturing and construction. Any improvement in supply chain performance and logistics can positively impact the overall performance of an enterprise. The new platform will also enable the L&T to leverage its deep domain expertise in procurement, logistics, financing, and IT solutions. In addition to all these, I am confident that L&T SuFin will contribute to the larger national goals that we have always championed of adding a technology thrust to the Make in India and Atmanirbhar program announced by our Prime Minister. In specific terms, the platform will prove to be the boon for SMEs in our industrial ecosystems. SMEs are regarded as the driving force of our economic growth, enabling our supply to global shock waves to a significant extent. L&T SuFin will benefit SMEs by filling critical gaps in their capabilities. It will provide much greater visibility to SMEs by turning the spotlight on their offering and strength. It will also provide them access to larger geographies far beyond their neighborhood and immediate circle of contacts. Further, the financial dimension of the integrated platform will provide them access to affordable working capital. While doing all these, I'm sure that the L&T SuFin will continue L&T's long-standing tradition of strong customer orientation, which has contributed to the unique image and luster of brand L&T. We should continue to identify ourselves with our customer and their aspiration and help to deliver solutions that will make a difference to their lives. We are all living in times of rapid and unexpected change, and the changes of a volatile geopolitical environment. You will therefore need to remain very alert and agile to the new developments, no matter how distant, and be agile and innovative in your approaches. This will help you quickly grasp new requirements, reconfigure your offering, and always stay one step ahead of the competition. I know that we have a highly motivated and charged up team which has been working enthusiastically and tirelessly towards this day for the last 2 years. In all its endeavor for consistent growth and profitability, I am confident that the team will adhere to L&T's central time-honored tenets of business ethics, compliance, and always uphold the larger national interest. I look forward to the success of L&T SuFin and my very best wishes to Bhadresh and the entire SuFin team. Before I conclude, I want to caution, and very constructively, that finally all this will come to a very fructifying future if we create value, and value means everybody has to make money. The e-commerce companies today has nosedived its value. And even if you don't make a profit for 5 to 7 years, the world over somehow people have invested heavily on it, and therefore without even profit, there are companies which are 10 billion. Now finally somebody is going to say, where is my money? Those people who have invested. When am I going to get the return? If you see L&T, if we had more than 5 years to give the money back to shareholders, we do not consider a very good performance. We must return the money to the shareholder in 5 years. And the digital business, quite a few companies which are successful have returned the money in 3 years. Now, there are ways of looking at it. One is you create value in marketplace, the price keeps going up and up and up, everybody is happy, but someday it collapses if you don't return the solid financial investment which we had made. Because as the value goes up of the share, somebody or the other is investing for it to go further up. So if we are not careful, and if the investors are not careful, unfortunately they are not right now, as I perceive, maybe there are others who think differently, that how can anyone survive like Baiju, who has not made money, but billions of dollars are at stake, and hundreds of millions of dollars different people have invested in various stages of financing the project. So you look at Nykaa, the recent, its value has come down from the peak by 40%. And I won't be surprised if it will be quoted below par, below the price at which it opened, because today the share market has virtually come down by more than 1,500 points. This is where even a company like L&T has gone down from 2080 at its peak to today 1,679, which means we are 20% down. L&T, which has a substance, you can see it, you can feel it. And world over, it has created a brand, at least in the area of our operation. And therefore, brand value is a huge value to L&T. All of these you can touch and feel. If you are going to do a construction project, you can see it. If you are going to make nuclear reactor, you can see it. If you are going to make offshore platform, you can see it. E-commerce business, you can only see it without feeling it, without touching it. And for that, I'm an old-fashioned man, so I can only feel, if I am giving a money to somebody, when am I going to get it back? Not after 10 years, 20 years, 15 years. And then people expect, but you will make money in the stock market. If the value keeps going up of the share, you invest and sell. You invest and sell and make money. But there will be a limit beyond which it will keep coming down like it has happened today. And this had nothing to do with Russian invasion of the country, right? It had nothing to do with that. That is over and above impact yet to come. Part of it has come. Balance will come as the Russia-Ukraine war comes to hopefully physically in end, but its repercussion, various restrictions which has been put, lot of financial gates which has been closed for Russia, the repercussion of that, what Russia will do, all that we don't know. And we will feel it only maybe after a month, begin to feel it. So this is the companies which will survive, the fittest of the fittest, and those who really create value. The value creation will come down due to all these events, but it will still not be something which is, let's say, expected after some time. But that time is long in e-commerce, except maybe 5% of the companies which has returned the money in terms of money by way of profit, not way of market creation and manipulation. So I can only wish L&T SuFin to really keep this in mind, that launching it in the market, initially seeing that the price is going up, and you are very happy, I'm very happy. Every day I see L&T's price, and I'm happy if the price have gone up. If the price has come down, I'm unhappy. That is going to happen massively in e-commerce, because there are many people who don't see you, except for companies which have short. But there will be very few who will be the Googles of future, who will be the Microsoft of future, who will be the Apple of future, Amazon of future. So I'm not saying SuFin is going to create such a massive organization, but I think we all have to bear in mind that value creation by market operation is not something on which we can rely on a long-term basis. Finally, in the financial term, we have to return to the shareholder, I hope, in less than 5 years. Beyond that, the return begins to be seeing it in not so profitable manner. So, having said that, I am not saying L&T SuFin is not going to be able to do it. I'm only saying it, keep that in mind, that you will have to create a huge value in short term. And value that is felt, touch and feel, and not in the market. So with that, let me wish once again to L&T SuFin for creating a platform which is very, very useful to SMEs and the supply chain. And I'm sure that at the national level also this will become very popular and will become an international platform. And it will be a hugely feather in the cap of L&T brand. And I wish them again all the very best and good luck to all of you. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your dynamic words. And also, I must admit, just like everyone out here, I do believe that there's always so much to learn from your valuable words. So thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
I can go down.
Ladies and gentlemen, some very important words of wisdom coming in from the leader himself, Mr. A.M. Nayak. And on that beautiful note, can we have another huge round of applause one more time? I do believe it has definitely set the tone for the team as well to work hard and to work keeping those important keywords in mind, such as trust, accountability, confidence, and more. With that, may I now please invite on stage none other than the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of L&T to please come on stage, none other than Mr. S.N. Subramanian. Can we have a huge round of applause to welcome Mr. S.N. Subramanian to also please share his views on L&T SuFin.
Thanks. Good morning to all of you. Mr. Nayak, my colleagues in the Ecom, Louis, Mr. Vivek, and all my other colleagues from L&T out here, including the colleagues from L&T SuFin. My voice has slightly changed because of COVID, but I can't help it now, but kindly live with that. It's an important occasion that after nearly 1.5 years of creating a platform, we have assembled here to launch SuFin, which has just been done by our group chairman. And as he correctly said, which I've been emphasizing in every meeting with you guys, hope from day one you are cash positive. That's a new form of looking at a digital platform, and I hope it works like that. This idea started long time back when one of our consultants, McKinsey, was doing a supply chain improvement program in buildings and factories. And Noshir, during one of our flights, mentioned to me that the big ticket items, the basic materials, the major purchase orders and work orders are all monitored, but there are thousands of crores of purchases which are done at various project sites, and that's not looked at any forum, in the sense that it doesn't come to the high-powered committees, it's not looked at any other single source within the company. And why don't you take a look at it? And we debated for a long as to how to get that into shape. And the idea came of looking into, frankly speaking, Amazon. I said, why not create a platform called ConZone? It was Construction Zone. And then people told me con is not a good word, so call it ConZone. And that's how the entire thing started. Today, in the ConZone platform, where Ganeshan and others in ECC have played a big part, there are more than 50,000 crores of ECC's transactions that goes through it, and I think some other transactions of L&T, other groups also go through it. And what it has done, it's brought some semblance of order to the various purchases that we do at site levels, the consumables, the low-end materials, the local purchases, and so on and so forth. So there is a visibility of all that. There's a comparison of all those prices. There's a registration of all those SMEs, MSMEs, and local shops and fabricators from whom we buy many of those products. And today we are able to see, either in terms of categories or in various baskets, the kind of purchases that we buy. What is the price of a product on the northern side, and the southern side, and the eastern side, and western side, and so on and so forth. This has also brought in my opinion, a fair amount of peer pressure to do a purchase which is much better than what somebody else is doing. And I think overall, I don't have an estimate right now, but it has brought in certain huge amount of regularity and cost savings to this kind of purchases that was being done across the organization. At some point of time, again about 2 years back, when we're doing the strategic plan exercise, and as you all know, our present strategic plan has been a very long exercise. We had it ready in 20, and then came COVID. We deferred it to 2021. We were wanting to take it to the board, and again came COVID too. And finally, I hope there's no more COVID or further extension of the Russian-Ukraine war. We hope to take it to our board in March of this year to get it hopefully approved by the chairman of the board and register it as a strategic plan up to 2026. It's been an extended exercise. And during this exercise, when we had a workshop around 20, many ideas came from all the learned people within the organization. And the idea of getting into digital also came in. But as the group chairman correctly said, this vision of moving into services was conceptualized by him when he became the CEO and MD and chairman in the late 90s, early 2000s. And both LTI and LTTS are forebearers of what has happened in the services space, because both these organizations, including Mindtree today, contribute to nearly 17% of our sales and maybe 40% of our PAT, which is saying a lot. So having said that, and having moved into those space even in that time, and having gained some momentum in these two spaces today, because all the three organizations have done relatively very well during this work from home period compared to the main company. The idea was, can we do something else in this space to accelerate the growth in our services domain? So EduTech has been launched, and as I see today, there are 60,000 students who are registered, and they tell me by March that it will become 100,000 students. I'm still not seeing the money, but 100,000 students have registered, and there's a possibility of sales coming up. Similarly, there is SuFin, which has been launched quietly, and Abhilash did tell me that he's doing more than 1 crore a month, but that is nothing for this platform, and he has to accelerate it to maybe 400 crores in the next financial year. But having said that, and that's the whole program, and that's the whole idea. And if we can connect again a very disorganized and unorganized sector, which has really not been connected so far, which is SMEs, MSMEs, and connect them to the medium and larger industries, and give them a reach across the country, a northern MSME having to deal with the southern medium industries, or an eastern SME dealing with a northern medium industry or a large industry. I think that's opening up the market to unknown ways of trading between these organizations which don't have the marketing reach as one sees it. If we can do it, and if we can capture the imagination of the fact that through L&T SuFin, you can trade between not only MSMEs, SMEs, but also between medium and large industries, I think we have some presence felt to take this forward. It is going to be tough because this business, as the group chairman correctly said, not that even I don't understand it much. I played a very big part in putting my neck on it and pushing this forward along with Badresh, Anup and their team. But this space, the digital e-commerce space, is not very well understood by me. There are much bigger players on the groceries and the apparel and electronics and such as the side. And you see the battle going on in the newspapers and TV channels every day between these big players. In a small way, we entered the same space, but in an area not yet dominated or presence fell by them. But with their kind of resources, they can easily move into this area. They can easily broaden their ambit into this area if they see this being successful in any which way. The fact also we have to listen to is, why have they not entered this space? And therefore, we have done something different. I don't know whether it's right or wrong, time will tell. But having said that, and having got into this space, we are not known to give up a fight. We are not known to run away from a fight. We take complicated projects, engineering products, and we have managed many of these things, and we continue to manage many of these things. It's also a fact that L&T SuFin is being launched and the world is in utter turmoil. When I say utter turmoil, I really mean it. The commodity prices are shot up like crazy. We thought it was cooling down, and this Russian-Ukraine war has again made a terrible pitch for it. And last few days, last few weeks, as you've seen, both the steel, copper, aluminum, and such other prices have again gone through the roof. It is unimaginable how we're going to manage the situation. I don't have a formula right now. As much as I see it, our PBIT, both for this year to a certain extent and definitely for next year, is under a lot of strain. And unless all of us at various parts of the company do what we can to sort of manage this situation, and frankly, I don't know how to manage it. We'll have to evolve it as we go forward, if at all we can, to see how to push forward on this. Though 75-80% of our contracts are covered by the PV clauses, the way the WPI is working out and the way the real prices are working out, there's at least a 15-20% difference. And that cannot be bridged even by a PV formula. So there has been suggestions and there has been emails and notes written by me that go for star prices and so on and so forth. But to some extent, in the private sector, you can't do it. With government and public sector, it's not difficult because they have established formats of how they do contracting, and they will not change that very easily because that has to go through an elaborate process within themselves. So we are not in a bit of trouble, we are in a lot of trouble from that point of view. It's also a fact that during this turmoil times, we have lost some time during the pandemic on the execution of jobs. Many clients are writing to me as if COVID does not exist and did not exist at all. And I'm having a big strain even speaking to them and even writing letters to them. I guess many of my colleagues are doing it too, to tell the clients that we lost some time because of COVID. And that is a fact, and that's a force majeure. But, this is all part of a contracting life, and we have to go through it. So you're being launched at a time when the world is seeing turmoil, and world is seeing enormous turmoil, not only on the fact of the marketplace per se, the markets per se, the geographies per se, but also in terms of prices. The stock market, as the Group Chairman correctly said, has collapsed today. Our price went to 1605, has recorded to 1623 just before it came up. I don't know what it is. And L&T Finance is more or less that it is issue price. So this is knocking the head out of the neck, and I don't know where it will land as we move forward. Hopefully some saneness will prevail. I think few people are trying to talk to the Russians and the Ukrainians to cool them down to see a more peaceful world. But all this is unsettling, even if the peace occurs. The kind of reactions that have occurred for this war have torn down the very fabric of economies as we know it, of trading blocks as we know it, of finances as we know it, and there'll be a lot of trust deficiency between geographies and countries. And for that all to cool down will take a long time. I think the Western countries have created a massive situation which they themselves would not know how to get out of it, because from a single polar world, it will become a multipolar world with different countries taking on different aspects. And I would not be surprised if many of the international trading and international finance organizations that we know of, all breaking down and evolving into different forms as one moves forward. Anyway, we need to take the company forward. We need to have the grit and determination to do it. We have worked hard on a strategic plan which will be taken forward, and this is part of it. And I'm sure that whatever we try takes some effort and time, but will succeed, and I hope SuFin succeeds with it. The most important thing from my point of view on SuFin is to identify yourself with the SMEs and SMEs. It is not easy. These are mom and pop shops. The father is in control, and he doesn't give away control easily. And it is difficult to break into his trust because he does not understand digital. He feels his son and daughter who have joined the business are all young people who have learned something from US and some universities and come, and therefore he does not leave out the simple elements of business, which is basically cash flow and trust and the way to go about it. So it's a difficult area to break in. The other simple point is many customers have their own ecosystem of MSMEs and SMEs attached to them. Now, they will get into SuFin to look at new names to get better prices. But how do you keep these new clients with you? That's another important facet of it. So what we have done is through third-party financing, through logistics, we have provided all that. But how all that works, one has to see finally in a seamless manner. We have done a lot of experimentation through putting it through walls and B&F and PTND and all that. But ultimately, how it works is something which you have to see. You have to maintain business ethics. We have recruited a lot of frontline youngsters who are dealing with the various MSMEs, SMEs at the various industrial areas. These people are not the original L&T people. They have to understand that there's no shortcut to business. Business relationships and business is all long-term relationships. It's a lot of bringing trust and capability into whatever we do. And the promises should not be made which are off the cuff and which cannot be kept up. So even if some customer has to be missed out, we should see that these promises are not made, but promises are made which can really be kept up. Only then the trust will come up. So it's a slightly longer game because you're not launching an e-com for a simple apparel or a grocery. You're launching it for deep-rooted engineering goods. And engineering goods are difficult to transact with always. There's also a customer pre-qualification requirement. There's a consultant pre-qualification requirement. A new product is not easily accepted by any customer. He wants to understand it. He wants to go through the details of it. And MSMEs and SMEs will not easily part with data. And therefore, this is a slightly wrong process. We have to be careful on how we go about it. We have spent sufficiently on the platform, but we'll have to calibrate it to see how we take it forward to the next stage. The launch is an initial gateway, and let's see how it happens. Would like to thank Anup, Badresh, Anne, Bikram, Abhilash, Indranil, Rupesh, Ashish, and many of those wonderful guys whom I've come to know lately for being involved in it to see how to take it forward. I find a lot of L&T in you, and I hope you will continue that in the same manner. Also thank the Advisory Council of Louis, Manpreet, and Viresh for having been part of this Advisory Council and being involved in it in many which ways to move it forward. Also, Dr. Hasit and RSR for giving their valuable inputs in many which ways, including pointing out the dark and stark facts of reality to move it. So I wish you all the best, and I hope it succeeds, and I hope it makes a name for itself as one of the businesses of L&T, and wish you good luck and all the very best to do very well. Thanks all of you, and God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Subramanian, and very insightful words that you've shared. And from your words, I also gathered how you and the team are so cognizant about the kind of challenges that you might be surrounded with, but that doesn't stop you from embracing the opportunities or the opportunity to create value either to your stakeholders or, for that matter, the entire team. So thank you once again, sir, for sharing your words. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what a better way to know how L&T SuFin will touch lives and help everybody win than the L&T SuFin official film. On that note, let's take a look.
શું વાત કરો છો તમે? ઇલેક્ટ્રિક કેબલ્સ અને પીવીસી પાઇપ્સ અવેલેબલ નથી માર્કેટમાં? હાઉ કેન ધેટ બી? हमारा कमिटमेंट है कस्टमर को, सस्ता घर अपना घर, नो? ऐसे तो बन चुके हम 100 करोड़ की कंपनी।
यस सर।
ये क्या हो रहा है शालिनी? इलेक्ट्रिक केबल्स અને पीवीसी पाइप्स अवेलेबल કેમ નથી?
सर हमारा जो वेंडर था ना, उसने कोटेशन बढ़ा दी है, and all because of shortage in supply of raw materials.
હવે શું કરવાનું? Where do we find the material from?
Sir, let's connect to the sellers through SuFin.
SuFin.
Yes sir, L&T SuFin.
L&T એટલે Larsen and Toubro.
Yes sir, Larsen and Toubro वाली L&T.
वो जो 80 साल पुरानी कंपनी है वो? मतलब हमारा आधा टेंशन और आधा काम तो खत्म हो गया। But how can L&T help us?
With an experience spread over more than 8 decades, L&T now brings to you SuFin, all your business solutions under one roof. Through SuFin, our valuable customers can discover sellers and buy products from across the country, purchase and sell through a specially designed online payment and settlement mechanism, get financial aid from partner banks and NBFCs to overcome liquidity constraints, avail logistics support to easily ship goods from seller to buyers. RFQ option in SuFin is a unique feature where a multi-product RFQ on both credit and immediate payment terms can be requested. The seller can also quote whole or part RFQ depending on product availability at their end. SuFin's digital platform also allows its partners to connect with each other instantly and hassle-free through a specialized chat system. The buyers and sellers can further converse with each other, resolve queries, and thus help build trust among the SuFin partners. L&T SuFin helps its buyers and sellers to not only do business but also build partnership based on trust. SuFin partners can avail unsecured financing, which is enabled through products like overdraft, invoice discounting, term loan, equipment financing, dealer financing, and vendor financing by multiple lenders. The interest rates as compared to the market are much lower and more cost-effective at SuFin. Through SuFin's digital interface, mid-corporates can also create channel financial solution for their dealers and vendors. SuFin ensures and guarantees the trust between unknown dealers sitting in various parts of the country doing business.
ये लीजिए संतोष जी, आपका बिजनेस लोन अप्रूव हो गया है।
थैंक यू मैडम जी। कड्डी मार दी छलांग मार दी, मैनू याद आवे मेरे यार। गजब है ये सुफिन भी, हमको पापे जैसा ट्रांसफर पार्टनर भी दे दिया। ओ पापे महाराज, जरा सिंगाड़ा खाई लो और सुफिन के गुण गाई लो। ओ चक दे सुफिन।
SuFin provides choice, convenience, and accessibility, all at the comfort of your phone and computers. Business is all about creating a win-win situation. With L&T SuFin, everyone wins. To discover more, register on www.lntsufin.com.
This L&T initiative SuFin is really a savior. I have found so many sellers which otherwise would have been impossible to find without the L&T trusted and verified stamp. This actually takes away the worry of discovering suppliers through manual means and verifying their credentials. Thank you, SuFin.
I do believe that all of us are mighty enthused after watching that beautiful corporate film. And I think that enthusiasm matches especially the gentleman who said, Chak de Sufin. I just love the tonality there. But ladies and gentlemen, they often say that the best advice is one that you didn't know you needed. And I must also inform you all that we're truly delighted to have the presence of our advisory council members, Mr. Luis Miranda and Mr. Videsh Oberoi, who have joined us here this morning. So firstly, a warm welcome indeed, gentlemen. And it'll only be befitting that we gather their thoughts as they share their valuable words with us as well. And while we do so, let me also keep you posted about the fact that so many of you are present here in person, and there are so many who are joining us virtually as well. So I do hope all of you are managing to gather as much value as possible from all that's being shared over here. With that, I'd like to firstly request Mr. Miranda, who is a senior advisor at Morgan Stanley and also chairman of Manipal Signa. He's also the chairman of Coro and Center for Civil Society and manages trustee for Collective Good Foundation and other organizations such as Take Charge, 17,000 Feet Foundation, Sneha, Sunbird Trust, Operation Asha, and Educate Girls. So please put your hands together as I invite Mr. Miranda to please share a few words with all of us.
Congratulations, Bhadresh and your team, for the launch of SuFin. Launching something which is revolutionary is always exciting and scary at times. And this brings back memories of when we launched HDFC Bank, IDFC Private Equity, and the Indian School of Public Policy. When SNS called me and asked me to join the council, I wondered what I could bring to the table. I have learned so much over the last 16 months from the SuFin team, from the advisory council, and the L&T team. And we worked for so many months to develop this fabulous SuFin platform during a very tough pandemic environment. I've been a big believer in L&T and supporter for decades, and I've been a banker to L&T, I've been an investor in a subsidiary, and now an advisory council member. Over the past few months, I have met the Chairman Naik a few times, and I've also learned about his role in transforming this organization to become a construction, manufacturing, technology, defense, financial services giant that it is today. SuFin takes advantage of this legacy to play a pioneering role in improving the supply chain for the construction and industrial goods sector through our B2B e-commerce platform. Yes, there are other platforms in this space, but none is a single window platform that handles a transaction end to end. More importantly, SuFin's marketplace will help the large number of MSME suppliers, as you've seen in the movie also just now, across our country access clients and new markets more efficiently. L&T stands for trust, and so will SuFin stand for trust. I feel extremely privileged to be a part of this transformational platform. All the best, Bhadresh, to you and your team. And remember what's been said many times today already by your chairman and by your MD and CEO, you have to focus on cash flows. And as this, the sign below this says, hashtag everybody wins. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miranda, and for that very beautiful reminder as well, and also for your valuable words. It means a lot coming from a multifaceted personality such as yours. Thank you once again, sir. With that, I'd now also like to invite on stage none other than Mr. Viresh Oberoi, who's also joined us here this morning and is presently in the advisory board of Senrisa Technologies. He was appointed as the youngest chief sales manager of Tata Steel, and subsequently, he was selected to become the CEO of M Junction, a joint venture between SAIL and Tata Steel. This transformed the steel and coal supply chains in India and created India's largest and most profitable B2B e-commerce company and the world's largest e-marketplace for steel. So please put your hands together as I invite Mr. Oberoi to also please share a few words.
Thank you very much for that very, very warm introduction, and the last couple of hours that I've spent here has been extremely warm and encouraging, and this experience is something that I've missed for many years since I left Tata Steel in the year 2000 and founded Metal Junction, which then became M Junction. I've written a number of things. I didn't write this before I came. These are points which were made by Mr. Naik and by SNS, by Anup and by Bhadresh. And really, this is really to help me to advise L&T SuFin a little better than what I've been doing before, picking up some points that your senior leaders have said, and really to come out with how do we address them and what solutions do we have for them. So let me go back in terms of the purpose. I think any organization, and L&T SuFin, despite the fact that it is what we call a digital company in the service sector and in the e-commerce sector, and there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of such companies are concerned. And Mr. Naik made mention of a few of them. But it comes down to the purpose, and I think the purpose of this company is very well defined. And that sort of contributes a great deal to the success of the company. And the purpose, to my understanding, is really to see in terms of what can be done to improve the efficiency, the effectiveness, to create value, to unlock value as far as the MSME sector is concerned. And to look at the MSME sector in terms of their sales and their procurement processes. So really looking at the processes in terms of how we can use technology to impact them so that there is a positive benefit to both the seller and the buyer. And I love the tagline which Louis also made mention of, which is everybody wins. And that, to me, as far as everybody wins, is more in the external world than internal. So less to L&T, but more to the buyer and the seller. And all the ecosystem providers, whether it's a financial partner or it's a logistic partner, each one of them needs to win. And it is possible to use technology, to use new processes so that each one of them wins. And by wins, I mean is able to make money. The point is that if it is costing them X, how do you reduce that X by a figure which is Y, which makes them interested to participate on this platform. And this is something that L&T SuFin plans to do, which is the purpose. And the MSME sector, so this is not restricted to a large corporate house such like L&T or the Tatas or the Ambanis or something. We're talking about MSME to MSME. And that we are saying is in terms of maybe 70% of the industry population sits in that belt. And this is the population which is underserved by any kind of technology intervention which has taken place. So really the purpose is overarching, is extremely noble. And for that reason, it is incumbent upon us and L&T SuFin, most definitely, to work towards how we can create or unlock value for their customers, which are the sellers and the buyers, and for all the ecosystem providers. So I look at digital transformation in two ways. One is to use technology to create this value, to unlock value, because just going digital has no meaning as far as I'm concerned. It is that you go digital so that you are able to unlock value or create value. That means you use technology to solve a problem. And you need to be very clear in terms of what is the problem you're solving, and then to solve the problem by using technology. So that's step number one as far as digital transformation is concerned. And the second is, of course, is to build scalability. That means that how do you make sure that you use technology to scale up? You don't need human intervention at that point of time. Bhadresh made mention of the fact that there's now a possibility of releasing an RFQ with 200 line items in it, which is tremendous. Now, this is what technology can do and will do as far as L&T SuFin is concerned. But the third most important thing, and SNS made mention of this, which is in terms of a behavioral change. How do we achieve this behavioral change? Because as far as the MSC is concerned, they are largely populated by people who are, so to say, technologically challenged. They have been operating in a certain manner. How will they move to this new manner of operation? Their youngsters, their sons, their nephews, their nieces, etc. will take to this. But then how do we bring the older folk onto this? And what is it that we need to do to make that behavioral change happen in them? And then only will this be accepted. And really, this would be a challenge as far as L&T SuFin is concerned, or for that matter, any other organization. As far as and there is an advantage that we have. We have a number of advantages. One, of course, is the trust. And the L&T name, the trust that it denotes, is something that we need to take advantage of and also to contribute towards. So it's two. One is that it can become our Achilles heel, but we need to make sure that we add value to the brand name of L&T. That means we are very, very cautious as far as the trust and verified stamp is concerned, for example, or for any other process that we build, is that we contribute towards the trust that L&T has built over the last 80 years. And how do we contribute to that needs to be something that Bhadresh and his team need to be focused on. But then having said that, the L&T name stands for a great deal, and this will help us to enter the market and to sustain us at difficult times. The second is in terms of while you are building the brand and the value, what else do you need to do? And I think there's a tremendous team which has been set up. And once again, I think SNS has been in the forefront as far as building the team is concerned and selection of the team is concerned. But then, as he mentioned, you're bringing in people from outside who are not from L&T. And for that reason, a very strong brand or a value needs to be communicated on a daily basis. We all need to walk the talk. So it's not only written on a piece of paper, but Bhadresh and Anup and others, the leaders, need to walk the talk so that the new people who are joining understand that there are no shortcuts and this is the way that we have to go. Anup mentioned Alibaba, and he said that Alibaba is possibly the only other example that we have as far as what we are doing or L&T SuFin is doing. And to me, that also means that L&T SuFin has at some point of time an ambition to grow outside the country. Alibaba is not confined to China. And for that reason, usage of the internet, and just this morning when I was driving down, I heard that they're planning to have the internet on the moon, right? So there is this Indian guy involved in Nokia who's got the order from NASA to build an internet capability on the moon. So it's amazing in terms of what is happening on the technological front. So the internet is something which is all pervasive. It is not something which is restricted to India. Of course, the value proposition which will have to change if we are looking at industry or MSMEs across the globe. And I'm sure that if anybody can do it, it is it is L&T SuFin which will be able to do it. This is a very happy occasion, which is the launch, and a lot of hard work has gone into it. You saw Bhadresh, in the last 2 years, what has happened and what they have done, what the team has done. But I won't say the real story, but to me, the real story starts now, which is the execution. And during the execution, we are going to come up with a number of surprises. We've got to be agile as far as that is concerned. We need to be changing on the fly, and we need to be changing based on our value system and based on various other things. But execution is going to be of paramount importance at this point of time. Strategy is something that we had, which was talked about a little earlier. But I think now execution of the strategy is what is going to make the difference as far as we are concerned moving forward. So I wish Bhadresh, L&T SuFin, my friend Anup, SNS, and everybody else the very best. And I will contribute, and I'm sure I speak for the other two external advisors, one who has spoken already and one other who's in Singapore. So I think it's a great thing that once again that SNS has done is to bring 3 people on board on the advisory council. I contribute the grey hair to this, which is I think important. The other 2 contribute the grey cells, which is even more important. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oberoi, for sharing some very pertinent and very keen observations as well, and under the umbrella of one word, which is purpose. So thank you once again, sir. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is often said that a brand which has the pulse of the customer is a brand that ensures that everybody grows. And it is indeed an honor to hear our customers speak. So we managed to capture their words in the form of a video. Let's take a look.
SuFin.com is a great initiative by L&T for feasible B2B e-commerce transaction. And finally, I would like to say SuFin.com is a great initiative by L&T for feasible B2B e-commerce transaction. And finally, I would like to say, best of luck.
வணக்கம், என்னோட பேர் மணிபாலன். நாங்கள் திருமண எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் சிஸ்டம் எல்என்டியோட ஆப்ரேஷன் சர்வீஸ் சென்டர் கோயம்புத்தூர்ல பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். எல்என்டி கம்பெனியோட சுவிட்ச் கியர் சர்வீஸ் பார்த்து பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம், ஸ்பேர் சேல்ஸும் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். எங்களுக்கு இப்போ ஒரு 6 மாதத்துக்கு முன்னாடி எல்என்டி SuFin டீம் வந்து அப்ரோச் பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க. B2B அந்த பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் வந்து ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணுறதுக்காக வந்திருந்தாங்க. அப்போ அவங்க சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க, இந்த மாதிரி எங்கிட்ட லோன் ப்ளஸ் லாஜிஸ்டிக் இதெல்லாம் ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணி சொன்னாங்க. ஏன்னா எனக்கு வந்து டிரைவர் லோன் அப்படிங்கிறது கொஞ்சம் நீடு, அதாவது பிஸ்னஸ் டெவலப்மெண்ட்டுக்காக அது தேவையான இருந்தது, அதெல்லாம் பண்ணி கொடுத்தாங்க. எனக்கு அந்த லோன் வாங்கி கொடுக்குறது வந்து அந்த எலக்ட்ரிக் SuFin டீம் அந்த டைமில் ரொம்ப நிறைய சப்போர்ட்லாம் பண்ணாங்க. அந்த லோன் வாங்கினதுக்கப்புறம் எனக்கு வந்து பிஸ்னஸ் டெவலப்மெண்ட் நல்லாவே போயிட்டு இருக்கு 6 மாசமா. அதனால் வந்து இன்னும் லாஜிஸ்டிக்கல் சப்போர்ட்லாம் இருக்கு, எல்லாமே நல்லா இருக்கு. எல்என்டி SuFin டீம்ல ஒரு பார்ட்னர் இருக்கு. என்னுடைய நன்றி. என்டையர் எல்என்டி SuFin டீமுக்கு என்னுடைய நன்றி. வணக்கம்.
जिसको मैंने जो है L&T SuFin के सेल्स पर्सन के साथ में जो है वो शेयर किया, और उन लोगों ने मेरे को जो है पूरे ऑल ओवर महाराष्ट्र में से जो है उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट और उसके रेट्स वगैरह जो है लाकर दिए, क्योंकि बहुत अच्छे रेट मिले उसको। क्योंकि हम ट्रेडर्स है, ट्रेडर्स को जो है कम से कम रेट में जो है माल चाहिए होता है। हमने जो है बहुत सारी चीज़ों को देखा, सब कुछ किया। माशाल्लाह L&T SuFin कंपनी की तरफ से हमको जो है बहुत अच्छे रेट भी मिले और बहुत अच्छा जो है सर्विस भी मिला। हमको इसके अंदर लॉजिस्टिक सर्विस भी मिला, हमको फाइनेंस के लिए ऑफर भी किया गया। हमने जो है सारी चीज़ों को जो है देखते हुए हम L&T SuFin के साथ में जर्नी हमारी बहुत अच्छी रही, और हम जो है ये भी चाहेंगे कि और अच्छी से अच्छी जैसा किस तरह से बेहतर से बेहतर बनाए, और L&T SuFin जो है आपको और भी सर्विसेज अच्छी देगा।
नमस्कार, मैं ऋषि दत्ता। हम लोग का कंपनी का नाम है द कैप्रिकॉन। हम लोग अभी रिसेंटली L&T SuFin के साथ जुड़े हैं। यहाँ से हम लोगों को अभी अच्छा ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहा है, अच्छा इंक्वायरीज आता है, ऑर्डर्स आता है। हम लोगों के पास जो आरएम सर हम लोगों के साथ जुड़े हैं, उनका नाम है मिस्टर और जितना भी ट्रांजैक्शंस होता है वो लोग आके पूरा गाइड करते हैं, प्लस टू इंक्लूड वो लोग ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का भी हम लोग को हेल्प कर देते हैं।
हम फ्लिपकार्ट, अमेजोन एंड मीशो पर अपना मटेरियल सप्लाई करते हैं। तभी हमारी मार्केटिंग डिजिटल टीम को L&T SuFin के बारे में पता चला। L&T SuFin से मिस्टर आशीष सक्सेना जी ने हमारी बहुत मदद की। L&T SuFin के बारे में उन्होंने हमें बहुत कुछ बताया। L&T SuFin पर हमने काम भी किया, यहाँ पर हमने अपने मटेरियल बेचा भी, सप्लाई भी किया। उसके अलावा हमने इस पोर्टल से अपना मटेरियल अपने लिए खरीदा भी। मैं L&T SuFin और मिस्टर आशीष को डिजिटल मार्केटिंग में उनके उज्जवल भविष्य की शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। धन्यवाद।
मार्केटમાં ઘણા બધા ઈ-કોમર્સ પ્લેટફોર્મ અવેલેબલ છે, જેમાં ઘણા બધા ફીચર્સ અલગ અલગ છે અને એમની માર્કેટિંગ સ્ટ્રેટેજી, એમની ફેસિલિટી બધી અલગ અલગ છે. એમાં L&T SuFinની અંદર એડિશનલ કમ્પેર ટુ અધર લાઈક લોજિસ્ટિકની ફેસિલિટી છે, એમાં પેમેન્ટ ગેટવેનું સારી ફેસિલિટી છે. પછી એઝ અ L&T તો એનું નામ બી ઓલરેડી માર્કેટમાં છે, તો એના નામથી બી એક બેનિફિટ છે. એ બધા પ્લેટફોર્મની અંદર એક લોજિસ્ટિકનો પ્રોબ્લેમ ફેસ કર્યો હતો અમે, કે જેમાં કોસ્ટ વાઇઝ અને દરેક સેન્ટરમાં ફેસિલિટી અવેલેબલ નથી લોજિસ્ટિકની, જે L&Tમાં અવેલેબલ છે, તો એ स्पेशल बेनिफिट है।
तो काफ़ी अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है, उसमें ट्रांसपोर्टेशन भी है, हेल्प भी है, अदर प्रोडक्ट की अपने प्रोडक्ट का भी है कि अपने प्रोडक्ट को हम कैसे एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं उसके थ्रू, L&T SuFin के थ्रू। और उसमें ट्रांजैक्शन का भी काफ़ी अच्छा दिखाया हुआ है कि L&T SuFin के थ्रू ट्रांजैक्शन का कराना, या फिर उसमें किसी भी सर्चिंग प्लेटफॉर्म पे लाइक जैसे इंडिया मार्ट में हम लोग करते थे, सेम उसमें भी है, L&T SuFin में भी सेम यही प्रोसेस है। बट थोड़ा सा क्या है इसमें L&T SuFin में थोड़ा लेंथी है, मतलब कोई भी किसी चीज़ को हम कोई सर्च कर रहे हैं तो उसका जो प्रोसेस है थोड़ा लेंथी है। बस थोड़ा सा उस पर अगर वर्क हो जाए, वैसे जितना भी और कोई और जितनी भी फैसिलिटी है सब कुछ ठीक है। थैंक यू।
ಹಲೋ, ಏನು ಪೇರು ಹುಸೇನ್. ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಪೇರು ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬಂದರೆ ನೋಬಲ್ ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಪಾಸ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ஃபைனான்ஸ் பிளாம்பிங் ஐட்டம் எல்லாம் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஒரு வருஷம் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். இப்போ புதுசாக SuFin லான்ச் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க B2B. அதில் ஒரு பார்ட் ஆகிருக்காங்க. ஸோ நிறைய கொட்டேஷன் எல்லாம் வருது. ஸோ அந்த பார்ட் ஆகுறதுக்கு ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கேன். ஸோ SuFinக்கு பண்ணுறதுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி. தேங்க்யூ.
Well, as you have noticed, that some of the customers who shared their feedback, or for that matter, the kind of work that they've been doing with L&T SuFin, they span across different parts of the countries. And as you're all aware that the L&T SuFin has been live for a while right now, while today we chose this beautiful day to officially make a global launch and announce the launch to the entire world. So while we do that, while we manage to hear from the customers, let's now move to the movers and shakers at the heart of L&T. Let's now hear from the internal stakeholders of the branch and have them also share their thoughts. We'll do that in the form of the video. Let's take a look.
Good morning. This is a very proud moment for all of us to witness Larsen and Toubro making its mark in yet another new domain. SuFin is an idea whose time has come, and the convergence of many factors have enabled it. First, the vision of L&T management to leverage the experience of 8 decades in B2B buying and selling to create an end-to-end platform that addresses all industrial buying pain points. Second, the domain knowledge of the company in areas such as IT, finance and logistics that significantly had shortened the development timeline. Third factor, the global pandemic provided the final impetus to turn to online B2B in a big way. It's laudable that MSME is a focus area for SuFin, a portal that provides MSMEs access to products, markets, finance, and logistics could catalyze extensive inclusive growth across the country. And when backed by a trusted brand, I am sure this could provide an impetus to the ongoing Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives. L&T Valves, I am happy to report, was involved in the user experience testing of the portal and could contribute to the improvement of the RFQ process as well as product cataloging. We have also integrated our supply chain and domestic distributor network with SuFin. Earlier, when I was part of the rubber processing machinery business, I was a part of the buyer representative group that captured for the portal the expectations of an industrial buyer. I am confident that SuFin will enhance the performance and efficiencies of their customers, partners, and associates. I congratulate Bhadresh Pathak and Team SuFin for this achievement, which is historic, and wish them a great success. Thank you very much.
Greetings to all. Would like to congratulate the L&T SuFin team on its inauguration today. It's a real momentous occasion for all of us to be associated with this L&T SuFin's launch. Larsen & Toubro, with its widespread across infrastructure, manufacturing, services, is really one of the greatest organizations which has deep capabilities across procurement, logistics, finance, and design. And hence, SuFin brings that technology platform where these capabilities of Larsen & Toubro can be integrated to create a marketplace where the vendors which are available in the market can use the best of abilities of Larsen & Toubro as well as the deep knowledge which we carry and create a marketplace where they can sell their products to a wide spread of customers. And SuFin has created that platform. We at Larsen & Toubro, specifically PTD, Power Transmission and Distribution, has been associated with SuFin at its initial stage onwards. Power Transmission Distribution has a widespread connect with a lot of SMEs across India as our activities are spread across distribution sector which requires encouragement to a lot of MSMEs, and hence this gave us a strong knowledge base about the various products and the suppliers across the countries. But this didn't help us to increase our vendor base. With SuFin coming into picture where they can create a platform of technology which can integrate the various vendors for similar product across the country and help us to procure products at very competitive with reliable suppliers whose credentials would have been checked, will give us a great momentum to take this forward. Hence, I think this is a real great launch and this will help us to create a very wide vendor base across the country and help these small, medium and micro-medium enterprises to get a huge customer base across the countries. And Larsen & Toubro's credentials of using this will give them a sort of credibility that these are products which have been already used in the market. Considering all this, I think this will be a great platform and we look forward to seeing it getting integrated across the whole of construction and being utilized. So once again, I would like to say all the best to SuFin team on its launch. Thank you.
My heartiest congratulations to Bhadresh and his team on this great day when SuFin is launching. This was a dream which was seen by a visionary dream actually, which SNS saw a couple of years back, of creating a great B2B platform. The country has many B2C platforms, some successful, some not so successful. But what we genuinely lacked is a platform in which corporates, SMEs can interact with each other, can interact between corporates and SME, between various SMEs, and truly create value for getting the goods at the right price, of the right quality, and getting it in a seamless manner. This is what SuFin intends to do, and not only that, adds financing and adds logistic to it. I truly believe that this absolutely one-of-a-kind idea has great potential to generate tremendous value for all stakeholders. Once again, my big thank you and compliments to Bhadresh and his team for working extremely hard over the last 2 years, which was, as we all know, was not a very easy period, to make this dream and possible and convert it into reality. All the very best for the great success of this platform. Thank you.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's my delight to invite on stage Mr. Sashi Sridharan, Managing Director, Microsoft India, to also please share his valuable words with us. He comes with more than 30 years of experience in the software and services domain, with exposure to a wide variety of management functions. On a personal front, he's also an avid traveler, a keen wildlife photographer, and an automobile enthusiast. So let's shift the gears, and can we have a round of applause to welcome on stage Mr. Sashi Sridharan. Warm welcome, sir. A delight. Thank you, sir.
It's still good morning. A few more minutes, I guess. Respected SNS and the esteemed L&T leadership. At the outset, I would like to thank you for inviting Team Microsoft into this very invigorating and inspiring launch, right? Microsoft and L&T enjoys a multifaceted 360-degree relationship. Today is one of those cardinal moments for us as we participated with the team in L&T to build out the entire SuFin platform. I want to step back a little bit. The relationship between L&T and Microsoft is steeped in trust, in tech intensity, and an unsatiated urge to serve our customers. It's probably the three big dimensions of our relationship. While we see SuFin as an amalgamation of deep EPC expertise and the crafting of both logistics and finance into it, which I thought was uber cool and valuable. I also think that we as Microsoft could bring the magic of software and digital into that platform, thereby, really realizing the potential of that particular space. So we've been on it with the team for close to 2 years now, if not a little bit more than 2 years. I think there is also a bigger backdrop here. While we clearly understand that the e-commerce platform, empowers the MSMEs, the burgeoning needs of the MSMEs, and also really contributes to initiatives like Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. I think for us in Microsoft, it's also delivering to a very core mission that we stand for, which is basically empowering every person and organization in this planet to achieve more, which is our mission statement. From that perspective, SuFin is a very cardinal initiative, and we look at it as the pioneering step to many more such initiatives with L&T. Now, a little bit of tech. SuFin is built on an Azure platform as a service. Now, I wanted to bring this in not necessarily to talk about technology, but there are multiple teams in Microsoft who's celebrating this particular moment, and it's important that this group understands that. There are teams in engineering, there are teams in consulting, there are teams in support that's actually worked together with the team in L&T to deliver to this platform. So for us, this is a super big moment. And then we also think that the journey has just started, as SNS mentioned, and there would be an opportunity for us as a combined team to accelerate this journey and really take functionality to the nth level, because that's what will differentiate the platform as it scales. And then also an ability to harness the power of data. We are doing that in phase 1 itself, but I think there is a bigger opportunity to harness the power of data as we build out this space and starts conducting business at scale. I would pause here with a big congratulations to Team L&T. We really look forward to participating in many more such initiatives and count on us to be with you as we move through these newer opportunities and dimensions of the digital business. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sridharan, for sharing your dynamic thoughts and also accentuating on the need for harnessing the power of data. So thank you very much once again, sir. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we'd also like to now invite on stage one of our key customers, Polycab, one of India's leading manufacturers of cables and wires and allied products such as UPVC conduits and lugs and glands. Polycab is onboarded with L&T SuFin as seller for wires, cables, lighting and switchgear products. I'd like to invite on stage Mr. Vivek Sharma, Deputy Managing Director, Polycab, who comes with more than 35 years of prolific experience, and he's a seasoned leader and has also served as a Managing Director of Panasonic, CEO of Everstone Group, and President for Morphy Richards. So please put your hands together, and may I please invite on stage none other than Mr. Vivek Sharma.
My pranams to Chairman Naik in absentia. A warm hello and a good morning to all of you present here. I can't say how delighted I am to be part of today's program. Right from the national anthem, the anthem of L&T, it sent me into flashback mode. I literally had goosebumps. And I was just thinking, strange are the ways of God, and in God we trust. And trust means T in L&T, and love for challenges is again L, part of L&T. So I was just thinking and went back into flashback mode, how this great organization has impacted me, personally, officially, directly, indirectly. And my thoughts went like this in flashback mode. When I started my MBA program as a student, the first case study I ever did was on L&T, corporate ethics, governance, engineering excellence. All of it we learned from that inspirational case study. A few more months down the same MBA program, I met with a very dynamic, a very smart, and a very cheerful young man. All of you know him as S.N. Subramaniam, and there are different names. But for us, he was affectionately called Subbu. He was the president of the 5th batch, my senior, and that's where I met him. And he was instrumental in my becoming the president of the 6th batch, right? A few years down the line, I joined my first company, my university of sorts, Philips India Limited. And there I met whom I think till today is my favorite, my most, knowledgeable boss I ever had. All of you know him as S.P. Joshi. We used to call him Joshi sir, who heads your L&T Reality. I grew up, saved some money, made my first investment in shares, and the company was L&T. I bought just 100 shares that day. And today I'm not a large shareholder, I'll have a couple of thousand shares, but these are not shares I ever intend to sell till my last day. Time passed by. I did better in my professional life than expected. As managing director of Panasonic, one of the competitors we most respected was L&T. Ethics, product quality, research, design, and the way they competed with a lot of dignity, respect, gravitas, and the customer at the core of the existence, right? Time went further by. I wanted to buy a house, a home for myself, and I bought a home right here at Emerald Isle. Further down came the lockdown, and I got 2 shots of COVID. Where? At Nirali, just down the road, right? So L&T again to help. And I'm proud to say that thanks to those 2 shots, COVID hasn't got to me yet and never will, I'm quite sure, right? So, cut from the flashback to life today. The film on SuFin showed the protagonist. He couldn't get cables and PVC pipes, right? And I was just thinking to myself that at Polycab we pride ourselves as being the company with the best availability, the best product quality, and the best price in cables and PVC pipes. But I think the gentleman needs SuFin to get us to L&T. And therefore, I would like to compliment the L&T management. And Subbu, I can't call you S.N. Subramaniam, it's too much of a tongue twister. But I think the vision which you have seen, it's a pain point we as manufacturers always felt. There was a gap between us and MSMEs. So whether it's finance, see RFQs, they come much later, but there are a lot of pains before that. And I think that the pains that you are addressing, transportation, 100% availability, reliable product quality, after-sales service, transportation, finance and all of that will go a long way in helping the customers that both L&T and Polycab seeks to serve. I do wish this venture all success, and I commit here and now that we will treat this business as our own. We'll put shoulder to shoulder to SuFin and work together to make sure that the MSME customers feel that SuFin is so very fine, the best platform they could ever have had. And I also commit to give you, as a principal, very special treatment to make sure that in the difficult initial days that you are setting out on this very exciting, very challenging, and very required line of business, I wish that we are able to be a part of helping you succeed, because you definitely do deserve to succeed. Such ventures are not meant to fail. So good luck, God bless, and you can rely on us to be your partner in progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I must admit that was truly dil se. Very endearing to share the very beautiful chapters from the story of your life and also your words of encouragement. So thank you once again for that, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, SuFin is a brand that helps ensure everybody wins, but winning is actually a product of teamwork. From industry to finance to logistics to CRM. So it's time to present a special message from our industry partners. Let's take a look.
Good morning. I am Vijay Shetty from Axis Bank. We extend our hearty congratulations to the entire L&T team on the launch of their pioneering MSME e-commerce marketplace, SuFin. This marketplace is one of its kind in India, and we believe this would solve lots of challenges immediately for millions of MSMEs seeking a technology-driven platform, find a quality assured product, best price discovery, and most critically, finding a finance under one umbrella. Axis Bank is proud to partner with L&T SuFin in providing customized lending solution for both buyers and sellers transacting on this marketplace. We wish SuFin grand success as this truly solves several issues of the MSME segment.
First and foremost, I congratulate the team of L&T and everyone involved in the conceptualization and implementation of SuFin, a B2B e-commerce platform that is set to reimagine procurement for businesses. As a company, not only is L&T a pioneer in the field of construction and industrial goods, but also a brand that has been synonymous with quality, trust, and timeless innovation. With the launch of this platform, L&T has leveraged its deep knowledge and access to the industrial sector to build a solution in a single window platform integrated for handling end-to-end trade transactions. Delivery is fully integrated logistics service provider with a vast network of partners, extensive pan-India reach, high-quality infrastructure, and automation backed by technology and data science capabilities. We will leverage these strengths to support L&T as its logistics partner. As companies, our synergies lie in building innovative solutions for a new India, and Delivery is proud to be the logistics partner of L&T for this new endeavor.
Hello everyone, it gives us great pleasure to partner with L&T in its marketplace venture. L&T has built all its businesses brick by brick with a global footprint encompassing over 50 countries. And we are positive that it will bring the same degree of knowledge, passion and dedication into this new venture as well. L&T's dominance and expertise in the industrial and construction sector gives it a unique advantage to cater to the MSME enterprises in these industries. And we are proud to be associated with L&T in this endeavor and provide financial solutions to the marketplace participants. As they say, the success of the entire chain determines the winner, not just a single company. It is also true that the largest cog in the supply chain needs to take the lead and provide the drive and initiative necessary to boost efficiency of the entire chain. L&T, with its 8-decade-long presence and expertise in the industrial and construction sector, is uniquely placed to further this initiative. To start a marketplace which focuses on these sectors and brings all the supply chain participants together not only seems very right, but also necessary to further the industry and give an impetus to the Indian economy. At Deutsche, our MSME focus fits in very well with the needs of this marketplace. We will provide a large basket of financing solutions to the participants and try and meet their financing needs for both operating expenses as well as capital good purchases. And we will do this across the short term and the medium term plans. For MSMEs, both liquidity and capital conservation are critical needs which we would attempt to satisfy. I would like to end by wishing the entire team engaged in putting up the platform all the very best and a great success in the years ahead. Thank you and all the best.
Hearty congratulations AM Nair sir, SN Subramanian sir, Mr. Bhadresh Pathak and team L&T SuFin for the launch of this unique digital platform, which facilitates MSMEs for trading, logistics and finance. This is a step forward in going digital for MSME manufacturers, traders, service industry to create Atmanirbhar Bharat with this unified platform for the ease of doing business. Watslone Fintech is proud to partner with L&T SuFin for building such an innovative platform to offer L&T Trust Score and a loan marketplace for MSMEs. E-commerce has grown from just technology to the deep domain expertise and strong relationship embedded with finance. Certified MSMEs on this platform offer a good business opportunities to the banks, NBFCs as lenders, for short and medium term loans. Watson is proud to be part of this L&T next strategic initiative using disruptive digital technology, aid Industry 4.0 with ease of doing business and easy credit access. On this inaugural day, Team Watson wishes L&T SuFin a great success to achieve a vision to be an e-commerce leader in construction and industrial goods. Thank you.
Hi SuFin team. Let me start by congratulating you all on this great day. You've all been working very hard, extremely hard and smart over the last few months. You all created a very stable and a very big launch pad, and I firmly believe the growth would be exponential from now on. We at Prava Info Systems are very proud to be associated as a partner of SuFin platform since inception. The lead management and the CRM platform being used by the SuFin team is one of the most advanced field force mobile and web applications being used anywhere in the country or perhaps the world. I have personally worked and have been associated with many organizations in my previous current role in the last 25 years. But honestly, and without exaggerations, I believe this is one of the best teams I've been associated with. I congratulate the management for hiring such an amazing talent in such a short period of time. Whether the team is based out of Mumbai or anywhere in India, I have interacted with people in Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Pune, Calcutta, Chandigarh, and all of you are amazing. I believe this journey has just begun and you will receive many more milestones in times to come and many accolades in times to come. And the L&T management would be very proud of the whole SuFin team. As they say, well begun is half done, and you've done it very well. I once again congratulate you all, and God bless you all, always.
Good morning. I am Jayendra Tanna here, President of All India Vyapar Mahamandal, a federation based at New Delhi, President of Gujarat Credit Federation, Ahmedabad, National General Secretary of Federation of Indian SME Associations based at Mumbai, and Ahmedabad Chamber of Commerce Welfare Foundation based at Ahmedabad. Recently, L&T has come up with a very good business B2B marketplace named L&T SuFin. We all know that L&T is one of the most prestigious MNC in India, and we are glad that it has come up with manufacturers and trading communities benefit with this new portal. I have visited the portal, and the best thing is that they have included in complete process the logistics as well as financial aspects also in this portal. We wish L&T all the best in this thing. We hope that this will benefit the manufacturers and trading community of India in a big way.
Good morning all. Myself Ashil Gujarati, President of the Southern Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Surat. The SGCCI is 80-year-old apex body for the betterment of trade and industry. We have more than 10,000 direct members and more than 1,50,000 indirect members. We have 125 associations as our direct members, and most of our members are from MSME industry and service industry. We have come to know that the most prestigious Indian MNC, L&T, has come up with an integrated B2B marketplace, that is L&T SuFin, for buying and selling the industrial and construction products and services. Definitely, this marketplace will be benefited to the Indian MSMEs and industry at large, as it provides the logistics and working capital and support as well. We wish L&T all the best, and I wish SGCCI and L&T SuFin will work together for the betterment of the Indian MSME and industry at large. Thank you.
Well, after hearing from our industry partners, I'd now like to invite Mr. Pankaj Dedia, Chief Business Officer of Infibeam Avenues Limited, the payment gateway partner for L&T SuFin. Infibeam Avenue is among the top three online payment gateway platforms in India and also ranks number 2 in the UAE among non-bank private digital payment companies. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and please help me welcome on stage Mr. Pankaj Dedia.
Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and the senior management at L&T. I, Pankaj Dedia, Chief Business Officer at Infibeam Avenues, would like to take this opportunity to thank you for inviting us at the launch of SuFin, which is an deeply integrated platform for B2B vendors, right, which helps enhance the presence on scale of business for the I'm so sorry. Business, significantly. Over the period of years, during the pandemic also, we have seen that a lot of sellers have been affected, as small SMEs, MSMEs have been impacted and businesses have been impacted. And I think this is the best platform which is going to help these people get the business, going. Which is there. Through this platform, SuFin also provides choice, convenience, and efficiency to the buyers in their procurement process, which is very important. We at CC Avenue are proud to be the payments partner for SuFin. As you are aware, CC Avenue is a flagship brand of Infibeam Avenues, which have been powering payments for 2 decades. Over the period of years, we have seen e-commerce really grow over the last decade. But we have now realized that after the pandemic, even at CC Avenue, we have seen that there has been a great demand for B2B, especially after the pandemic. We have seen that there are a lot of large corporates, etc., which have now inquired for B2B payments, to automating the B2B payments. And India is one of the countries where a lot of international countries also look forward for payment expertise. We have products like UPI, IMPS, which is near real-time payments. And for any business, payments is one of the last and the most important legs, and we are really very proud to be a part of the SuFin's journey to extend the best payment solutions to the vendors, and we are definitely very happy to work together to extend all the best possible solutions on this platform, SuFin. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dedia, for your words of encouragement. And on that note, I'd now like to also invite one of our key customers to share their thoughts. We are talking about Hitachi High-Rel Power Electronics Private Limited, recognized as a pioneer in power electronics that has partnered with L&T SuFin as seller for UPS, inverters, and drives products. We're joined by Rahul Mistry, General Manager Sales and Marketing, who comes with more than 20 years of experience as an industrial sales professional, having been associated with Hitachi High-Rel from the last 10 years, and prior to that, having worked with Rockwell Automation and Kirloskar. So if I may please invite, with a warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rahul Mistry to please come on stage. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. And thank you very much for inviting us for this particular launch event. First of all, I would like to give some brief about Hitachi High-Rel. Hitachi is a large Japanese conglomerate into the various fields, and representing Hitachi High-Rel, we are basically into the industrial segment, manufacturing of certain power electronic products out of the Make in India initiative in Gujarat. And basically, this particular platform is really a need of an hour. What I feel, the COVID has, made the buyer and seller as separated out, and we have seen in the pandemic a lot of challenge in, getting connected on the same platform, or that was a lot of challenges. So this particular platform will definitely help to connect the right buyer and connect with the right seller. Okay, and first of all, well, I would say very big congratulations to L&T team. Okay, bringing a big value chain creation in this particular industrial segment. Industrial segment is very fragmented in India, and a lot of a challenge in connecting the right product, because ultimate the need of an hour is to give the good quality products, connect with the right buyers on timely deliveries, faster time to market. So this particular initiative will definitely help the customers and for the buyers like us to connect with the right player. And I would say this particular the platform capabilities, like very unique. It is giving a single point solution, like product discovery, then transactions, distribution, and even the finance on a single platform. And no need to go for a different platform, common platform. It is very easily connecting. And then the first very key differentiating point is the RFQ, which I feel that it is giving the buyers to get the best out of the cost of this particular whatever they would like to buy. So I would say we are very optimistic that this platform will definitely reach to the very high level, and it will create a very good value chain in this particular market. And we are very much excited to see SuFin, a platform, a very next big thing into this B2B marketplace. And definitely it is a proud to be associated with the L&T. Hitachi is a large Japanese conglomerate having more than 800 group companies globally. Even in India, we have around more than 30 group companies. So definitely we would like to join this particular initiative as a buyer or a seller. And I wish very good success for the SuFin and the entire team in this particular initiative. And it is definitely look forward for a very mutually rewarding and a very strong business association with L&T SuFin. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your words of optimism. And ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that it's been an exciting day indeed to be in the presence of such amazing leaders and minds that have partnered together to add value. As we are almost inching closer towards the end of the program, it's not over until it's over. So I'd now like to invite on stage Mr. Abhilash Pillai, Chief Commercial Officer, L&T SuFin, to also propose the vote of thanks. Let's have a huge round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome on stage Mr. Abhilash Pillai.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an immense pleasure and privilege to get this opportunity to express a sincere gratitude to the galaxy of stalwarts who have graced us with their presence to launch L&T SuFin. I begin by expressing our thanks to the living legend amongst us, Padma Vibhushan Shri Amen Sir, who has blessed us by being here and launching L&T SuFin. Thank you, sir, for your time and blessings and for being an ever-energizing motivation for all of us. Thank you. I would now thank our CEO and MD SNS sir, since SuFin is because of him. His vision gave it birth, his affection gave us the name, and now his guidance, nurturing, and energy is driving it. Sir, we cannot thank you enough for your kindness with which you have spared time and guided us to reach here for SuFin to launch. We humbly request for your continued guidance and support to lead us going forward as well. I also extend our sincere gratitude to RSR sir and the Treasury team for the valuable guidance provided and the critical support received many a times. An e-commerce setup requires a very different approach for managing, and we are thankful for sirs and Treasury team's nurturing approach that has always supported us in meeting our objectives. I'd like to now extend our gratitude to the executive committee members of L&T. Sirs, each of you is a tall pillar shouldering the behemoth that is L&T. And at SuFin, we've had the good fortune to interact with all of you and gain from your vast experience. Each of you have energized us with your support and guidance. You've all been there during the CUG phase to leverage upon the L&T might to test SuFin. We request your continued guidance and support going forward as well. We are grateful to the distinguished advisory council members, Mr. Louis Miranda, Mr. Viresh Oberoi, and Mr. Manpreet Rathia, who come with the legacy and experience of having successfully built large digital businesses. And we are acting now as our mentors and compass guiding the growth of L&T SuFin. We look forward to gaining from your exemplary experience in steering SuFin to tremendous success. I would now thank the leadership that spearheaded the start of SuFin from being a perspective plan to a business that is now a future potential growth engine for L&T. Mr. Dinanath Dubashi or Didi sir, who kick-started this project as a perspective plan, also got us into it and gave us the early guidance. Mr. An Chauhan sir, permit me to say you're a rock star who has been solving our tech issues at scale. And also Mr. Ganeshan, who has given us brilliant inputs and has always given us support and guidance. And Nachiket sir, we are very thankful for your generous support in giving us the brilliant team of developers who have made SuFin what it is today. We would like to thank Mr. Anup Sahai. It's difficult to thank him as it's very difficult to keep score of what all he has done for SuFin. It's just that he's sitting at Landmark, but his heart and mind have been with SuFin only. He has been navigating our course. We are thankful for his clear, structured, ambitious, yet compassionate leadership. We cannot thank you enough, but we are grateful for everything, sir. The senior-most leaders of this peerless institution called L&T are here. SuFin is thankful for each of you for sparing your valuable time to be here and encouraging us in this beginning. Many of you have already supported us. I would like to specially highlight the critical role played by L&T Walls, BNF, and PT&D in helping us during the CUG phase by doing their business through us and helping us evolve. Thank you, CBMC team, AMN Tower administration team, and the event management team for bringing together such a wonderful event. We are confident going forward of the continued support of this immense might that is L&T to be our tailwind. Lastly, but most importantly, we wish to express a sincere gratitude to our most critical stakeholder, our client and our partners. We are thankful to you, the early adopters to the L&T SuFin platform. You gave us your valuable industry insights, your trust, and your business. You are our focus, and it is you who SuFin intends to serve, not just to meet, but to exceed your expectations. As we stand here, we are aware of the big burden of responsibility upon us. The world is changing ever fast, and the lessons learned, especially in the last 2 years, are that nothing is certain. In this uncertain world, we are bringing a business of the future, so the journey will be challenging and will test the best within us. However, we also realize that we are taking this stride in the footsteps of giants who are leading us, and we have the indomitable spirit of L&T in our DNA, which makes us do things which are seemingly impossible for many. We hope to make you all proud, and we hope to become a deserving part of this immeasurable legacy that is L&T. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abhilash, for sharing your words. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I request you all to please rise up to honor the national anthem.
मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य